I'd like to welcome everyone here for 2017 Ordinary Heroes Day. To start off, we'd like to start with Sue Green and the Shaftsbury Elementary School chorus coming up and singing Green Mountain. Come on in. I'll sing it.
Good afternoon. These are members of our chorus. Our chorus is actually about 50 kids, but they're in other places today. But we'd like to thank everyone for inviting us to be here once again. At the end, we have Jeremiah Christmas, Thomas Crowers, Nino Paul, Molly Thwing, who's beside Molly, Maddie Burnham, Mia Panesi, and Miranda LaCroix is representing our chorus today. Thank you so much, boys and girls.
Thank you.
The arrangement that we'll be singing to is performed by the Shaftsbury BSD and High School Band of These Green Mountains, and it's an arrangement that was written by Marjorie Rowan. So please join us in our state song. Ready, guys? All right.
Go to Dad. I can see. Let Daddy lift you up.
Go front, go front, go front, go front.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Go front, baby.
These green hills and silver waters are my home. They belong to me and to all our sons and daughters. May they be strong and forever free. Let us sing to protect her beauty and look with pride on the golden dome. They say home is where the heart is. These green mountains are my home. These green mountains are my home.
Thank you very much.
Miranda.
Thank you very much. I'd like to move on with the
Okay.
program here. This year's nominee was not just picked because of his civic activity in Shaftsbury, but for his activities in Bennington County and all over the state of Vermont. Without any further ado, I'll read the resolution for this year's nominee. Shaftsbury Historical Society in the town of Shaftsbury. Resolution for Timothy G. Finney, 2017 Shaftsbury's Ordinary Hero. Whereas Timothy G. Finney, who has been a resident of Vermont for 63 years and a resident of Shaftsbury for 25 years, and whereas Timothy G. Finney, who served on the ski patrol for Haystack and Bromley, helping others in need for a total of 50 years. And whereas Timothy G. Finney, being a Freemason for 36 years, helping to make the community and the world a better place and achieving the rank of Worshipful Master in 2 Bennington County lodges. And whereas Timothy G. Finney, who reached the rank of EMT 1 and who has continued to serve the Bennington Rescue Squad for 45 years with over 4,000 calls. And whereas Timothy G. Finney, having provided education and training to members of the Bennington Rescue and people from the Vermont EMS District 12, shaping the careers of many people and affecting the care of so many patients through his students, still saving lives today. And whereas Timothy G. Finney, continually wanting to help others, became a registered nurse for 36 years and held 2 supervisory positions. And whereas Timothy G. Finney was with the Shaftsbury Fire Department for 10 years. And whereas Timothy G. Finney helped start and was a member of the North Shaft First Responders Group, helping the people of North Bennington and Shaftsbury by reaching those in need that needed help faster than the rescue squad coming from Benningtonville. And whereas Timothy G. Finney has made Shaftsbury, Bennington County, and the state of Vermont a better, safer place to live, play, and grow. And whereas the Shaftsbury Historical Society in the town of Shaftsbury, in recognition of the many ways Timothy G. Finney has served his community. Now, therefore be it resolved that today, May 20th, 2017, is declared Ordinary Heroes Day in Shaftsbury and is devoted to honoring Timothy G. Finney, whose public recognition is richly deserved and long overdue. Congratulations. And this is yours. Thank you. Grab a seat. I was talking with a couple people while we were waiting around for you, and Doug Zecker stated that you used to like to drive pretty fast in your Demon or Duster or whatever it was.
There's been times.
And that you thank the Lord every day that there were not cell phones back then. I'm sorry, that wasn't Doug, that was Alan. Doug's going to say a few words on your behalf. I'm sorry, that was Alan Watson who picked it up. Come on up.
Afternoon. I'm Doug Zecker. I'm from away, Manchester, Dorset area actually. I'm the director of the Bromley Mountain Ski Patrol, and I've been a member of that patrol for 49 years. It's been a pleasure and an honor to know Tim Finney for over 30 of them. He's worked for Bromley for many years until backing off and retiring here a year or two ago. And I just want to let you people know that in my mind, Tim is probably the definition of volunteerism, as we just heard. Sort of stole my thunder, I want you to know. Tim, in the last 25 to 30 years, has worked with and trained, by my count, about 2,500 people on the ski patrol. Now, those are the same people every year. But Tim does a lot of the training, did a lot of the training. I've taught side by shoulder to shoulder with him. I've worked with him. He worked for me for a brief period of time. Tim Finney trained us and strived to make us better patrollers and better people and better caregivers in the emergency medical field. We have a level of medical training that's just about comparable to an EMT. Tim Finney was there to make sure all of us worked hard and knew what we had to do and when to do it and how to do it. And the best part about Tim is he always volunteered. Later on, when he worked in the first aid room, he was a professional. Tim also, including with training, probably treated 1,000 or 1,500 people that walked through the door, were brought through the door on a sled and needed treatment, sometimes very necessary life-saving treatment. Tim Finney spent a lot of that time volunteering. It's something our generation knows, the younger generation doesn't know quite as well, but he was such a volunteer. And by definition, he's a mentor to a lot of us. You know, he's somebody that taught us how to do this and to do a great job. And Shaftsbury is so very lucky to have had somebody like Tim around because he's hard to replace. He really is. You know, a couple weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, when I got a phone call that said, we're doing an event to honor Tim. And my first statement was, what happened to Tim? I'm going, generally when people get together to honor somebody, it's not good. Oh, nothing, everything's good. I said, well, thank God. I said, well, what are we doing? Well, it's a surprise and it's in about 5 or 6 weeks. And I said, okay, count me in. But I just wanted you to know that I really appreciate everything you've done for the Bromley Ski Patrol. I'm sure the people of Shaftsbury appreciate you, Tim, and I say it from my heart. Volunteerism is something that many of us don't honestly know, but you are, by definition, one of the best. Thank you very much.
Is Peter? Peter, come on up.
It's a very tough act to follow.
Remember, I'm your boss.
My name is Peter Harrison,
And he's another volunteer.
I have volunteered for the ski patrol. I think Tim actually is, he has one of the longest seniorities, not meaning he's old, but he's been with the ski patrol system for many, many years, pretty much as long as anyone. And the only thing that I can add to the accolades is, as you all well know, as well as we do, that Tim is, he is kind and friendly and helpful. He is gentle. He helps train us every year. He volunteers for the young people who are coming onto the patrol and don't really know what they like and what they want to do, and they're afraid, and he teaches them in a very kind, friendly, and supportive manner. And I likewise consider it quite an honor to have rubbed shoulders with him for, I guess, these 30 years or so. It seems time flies by, but he's still a wonderful guy, and you have every reason to be very proud of him. And it's my pleasure knowing him also.
Thank you, Peter. We have someone from the rescue squad like to come in. Rick, come on in.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Glad you can make it.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so my name is Rick Knoll. I'm actually a resident of North Adams, Mass. But I was asked to put a few things together, so here's my best effort. So I was married in 1988, moved to Reedsboro, Vermont to live. Shortly after that, I joined the volunteer fire department in town. And I quickly realized that there were very few people in town to provide emergency medical services. So seeing this, in 1989 I signed up for an emergency care attendant class. And that began my career in EMS as a volunteer for the Whitingham Ambulance. I remember my parents' reaction when they heard about my latest endeavor, and they always knew that I was going to do something. I think it started out with, you don't like blood. Well, I guess we can all overcome our fears when someone else's life depends on it. As fate will have it, I was laid off in 1992 and was able to devote 2 nights per week for what seemed like 6 months to attend an EMT class in Bennington. This class was taught by Tim Finney, Brian Howe, and Frank Mugavin. I can honestly say that it was one of the most memorable courses that I've ever taken. Each class was supplemented by guest lecturers, hands-on activities, and stories from the instructor's vast experience in emergency medical services. Needless to say, the course was a success, and I went on to practice as a new EMT. To the instructor's credit, shortly afterwards, I was asked to assume the role of one of 3 crew chiefs in Whitingham. I see this as a testament to the quality of the EMTs who graduated from Tim's courses. I joined Bennington Rescue in 2011 and was overjoyed to have an opportunity to work with my mentor. And now, as I walk about the Bennington Rescue Squad building, Tim's presence is still evident. All one needs to do is to stop and look at the old squad photos or plaques that adorned each wall. You don't have to look too carefully, as Tim is always up front. And up front is really where he's been. He joined in 1973, currently has 44 years serving the community. He was the president of the organization. He was recording secretary. He provided leadership as a lieutenant. shared his vast knowledge as training officer and educator, teaching both EMT and CPR classes. He was a Vermont EMS District 12 representative. He sat on numerous committees throughout the years, has responded to well over 4,000 calls, is both a life and honorary member. Tim also founded the North Shaft First Response Group and is currently working as Bennington Rescue Squad's historian. In Tim's own words, I joined the squad in 1973. I had been a ski patroller for some years. During that time, my dad had been sick and the squad took him to Albany Med for life-saving care. I followed along as the ambulance stopped a couple of times for his care. I thought to myself that my time to help would come. Well, as above, in 1973, my time came. By this time, I was a Red Cross first aid instructor, and soon I was a member. I was asked to teach a course. It wasn't long after that I was made training officer. I spent a number of years teaching new members at that level. It made me feel good to shape some new members in their knowledge and skill. I became an EMT. I think it was 1974 or 1975, I don't remember. Sometime after that, I became an EMT instructor, which I continued for many years, until the late 1990s when younger people began to move up. It pleased me to see my EMTs still out there doing the job. I had a good fortune to be part of the effort and teams that brought growth and development to both the ambulance district and the Bennington Rescue Squad. At the time I joined the BRS, the level of care was advanced first aid. We all transitioned to first become EMTs, then EMT intermediates, or EMTIs, and for a short time, EMTI to FIB techs. And finally, the inception of the EMT paramedic level. I'm fortunate to have served Bennington Rescue in various offices and committees over the years. The team efforts and vision of all those who have served and are serving make Bennington Rescue an excellent example of community service. I am ever grateful for having the opportunity to serve. That's Timothy G. Finney. I was contacted by Brian Howe, one of the other three instructors, and Brian has a few words to share. Brian is a dispatcher. He's a teacher in the area. He's also a dispatcher in Bennington, and he's working today. Brian said, I taught first aid and EMT courses with Tim for over 20 years. Tim is a great instructor. As an educator, what impressed me about Tim's dedication to teaching was his incredible patience with students who are having a difficult time passing the certification exams. Tim would work tirelessly with Bennington Rescue members to help them pass the written and practical exams. There's one funny story that only a couple of BRS members would remember, and that involved a mass casualty drill in the early 1980s at the airport. All BRS members were there, and the hospital ER was also involved to practice ER procedures. In the middle of the drill, Tim grabbed his chest and pretended to have a heart attack. Of course, no one knew he was going to do this, and when people scrambled to treat the new patient, Tim was transported to the hospital, still not letting on that this was an act. Once in the ER, Tim was brought to a room, placed on the bed, and doctors and nurses began to treat him. I think once a nurse began to start an IV, Tim let on that it was not real, but it was actually his contribution to the drill effort. My last memory of the night was watching Tim stand at the old nurse's desk while the hospital's head nurse chewed him out.
Amen.
Tim and I laugh about this whenever it is brought up, and I'm sorry that I can't be there to share and hear others' remarks. That's from Brian Howe.
But I met Mr. Madison from the Arlington Rescue Squad. I think you taught him too. And he said, say hi. Barb, would you like to come up and say a few words on your husband's behalf?
I
Come on over.
haven't had the pleasure of knowing Tim. I do know Jerry and other members of the family, but my husband worked in the emergency room at Putnam Hospital for 13, 15 years. And when he knew who was selected, because I'm on the board here at the Historical Society, and he said, oh, what a wonderful, deserving man. He is such a gentleman. He is always willing to teach. And Jesse believes that you had well over 1,000 volunteer calls on the rescue squad. Tim was always there to bring people in, always was gentle and kind to them. So it is wonderful, and he sends his congratulations. I do want the folks to know that this perpetual plaque, during the week, I'll go bring it. It's placed at the town hall, right in the front by Judy Stratton. It was Judy Stratton's little counter, and now it's Marlene Barrier's. And this is a perpetual plaque. It will be placed there, annually updated, but your name will be prominently displayed for all to see and admire. Thank you so much for what you've done for our town and community.
The only ordinary hero here. I look out and I see many more ordinary heroes. So in the future, if people can nominate someone and send it in, we plan on doing this for a few more years. I think we'll try to keep it a surprise. It's always a debate whether to keep it a surprise or not, but so far we've been able to pull it off, I think. Right? Congratulations. Well deserved. Okay, would you like to say, would anyone else like to say a few words on Tim's behalf?
I would just like to thank Tim for his amazing service to not only our community, but to our county and the state of Vermont for your amazing service. And for those of you, it wasn't mentioned on his plaque, he also has an amazing voice that he's now enjoying in his retirement. He sings with the Bennington County Choral Society and brings more great joy to people. So thank you for your amazing service.
Well, Jim, I guess it's to you. Would you like to?
Oh, gosh. Thank you. On the other side of the coin, without the support of the community and my friends, what's it worth, you know? If we can't reach out and help each other, that's what life's about. So, unexpected and a great honor, and I'm humbled. Thank you.
Food out here on the table. If anyone would like to go have a snack, some food, and mingle around, that's pretty much concludes our nomination process. But we'd like to celebrate a little bit while longer with everybody. Thank you.